So guys, right, have a look at that, will you? My God, the modern day golf swing. Really interesting video here for you. We're going to be taking a peek at some of the legends of the game. I really want to get your comments here. I really want to hear what you've got to say about some of the best players of all time. I'm going to show you about the modern day swing, and we'll get some feedback if you are new to my channel. But look at that. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to be taking a peek at some really interesting statistics and why top players at times are having 93% of their weight on that trail foot, on the right foot, and there's things happening and flying all over the place. We're also going to be taking a peek at arguably the best ball striker of all time. Guys, let's get stuck into this video. There's something in it for everyone. So guys, right, the modern swing, hasn't it changed? And these guys are hitting the ball so far. Huge movement down with heads, massive rotation of the body, bowing the lead wrist down. How are they getting it to work? Bending their bodies into positions that we really haven't seen before. Let's have a look at some of the moves here. We'll go to Justin Thomas. All right, we'll start off with this guy. If you ever see this guy hit the golf ball, you just literally won't believe the ball speed. And that's the thing, right? So some of the smaller guys, you have to get that club head speed up. You have to get your distance out there. The statistics are showing that if you're not reaching certain speeds, you've got no chance to make it statistically. Look, if you're the best putter in the world, maybe you've got a chance. But we're seeing less and less of those players out there. And let's have a look at the movement, because what we're seeing really for a lot of the guys is they're hammering the legs. Look at that for a move. All right, but he's still moving the right leg towards the target, and that's where he gets away from it. It's not just spinning. It's moving forwards, but he gets away with it because if you're really thrusting your legs, it's the strongest part of your body, you're going to get big speeds. But you've got to hit it clean as well. All right, we'll have a look later on the video at the senior player, or obviously the legends of the game. We'll talk about some of the better moves in those swings compared to these ones. But by looking at this movement through the ball, look at this right leg, and then it straightens both heels off the ground, so he's getting that left hip to really extend and reach up. It's 3 inches higher than it was at impact. That's getting the handle to lift up, and it's getting him more speed. So he's using the ground as leverage, but he's able to keep the left hip up and bend his body, keep himself in the shot. 63 degrees shoulder tilt here on the side. It's ridiculous, and that's what's helping keeping him in the shot. Is it good for his back? No. Is he playing because he wants to play senior golf? No. Is he trying to swing like this? Is this just, they start at such a young age. You can see that they have to thrash their bodies at it as juniors, and they're bending themselves into positions to get speed, and the club heads are often a little bit closed. I mean, look at Newman here on the side. What is, however, interesting when we're looking at, and leave your comments underneath, because, there's not many golf pros later on in life that have great backs anyway. And the old reverse C position, I don't know if it was that great for the back, because when you look at this, it's surprising in a way that when they rotate the chest just as much, they've got that back's pretty straight, right? And they're really, really strong. They're not going to have great backs, but it's just interesting how they get these swings to work. You're seeing these wrists bowed more. Schäufele, this guy flushes it. And have a look at this for a position here. Got that. A lot of players out there looking at, bowing this lead wrist for a lot of club golfers. Getting that lead wrist to move a little bit into flexion is a really, really good place to be for a lot of them. Look at that right leg moving and then the head dropping. And this is where they're getting the shoulder tilts down. Now, 3 inches of movement down with your head, that's around average. That helps you hit it with a bent right arm. And it helps hang on to our angles through the golf ball. The other areas that we're seeing a lot of the time is really unusual positions at impact, with weight in, 93% of the weight on the right foot for Justin Thomas here. And looking at that movement where he is there, we've got 100% of the weight on both toes. But this is to get the speed, right? This is to get, the body moving as fast as it can. We're seeing so many bowed wrists. We're seeing John Rahm. We're seeing so many other players with their lead wrist. And we know that this is great for the golf swing. You can get faster legs. You can keep the club face in an aggressive position. But you can also help shallow out your plane. And by looking at how your wrists and hands work on WorldClassGolf.com, we've got hand and wrist alignments, and we've got biomechanics statistics, we've got drills and exercise. Really, really interesting area looking at that. Let's have a look at now some of the legends of the game, and this is more suited for your senior players out there. And I'll just like to add, Dr. Neal and I have a senior series coming out, which I think you'll find really, really interesting for a lot of guys to keep their speed and pick their speed up. And have a look at the averages of movement there with the senior players as the swing slightly changes as we get a little bit older. So guys, the legends of the game. Now let's go through some of the best ball strikers of all time, some of the best players. And I think we can relate to these start of swings a little bit easier. We've got Byron Nelson, we've got Arnold Palmer. I'm going to take a peek at a couple of others. But a lot of the time what we saw back then was the club taking a little bit more, generally a little bit more on the inside to the modern day player, where the club head is, around parallel to the ground here along the toe line rather than the original shaft plane. Now, at the top of the swing, back, throughout the years, with the champions, we've seen a lot more swingers be compact at the top, lower left arm position than we've seen higher swings. Okay, when we're looking at the real champions. And obviously Arnold Palmer was extremely powerful, with a 53-degree shoulder plane here. That's just insane. But we did, and we still see, the heads moving down. Hips have deepened. We'll have a look at some footwork here from Nicklaus, and we're seeing them with this lowering down. Many of the champions end back up really on the original shaft plane so that the left wrist doesn't need to bow down as much. So deep hips, the heads dropping, great footwork. We've seen over the years a different style of footwork. It was perhaps not as necessary to hit the ball as far, even though we saw Nicklaus just pounding the thing out there with footwork very, very similar to Bryson DeChambeau. And we can see Lee Trevino dropping down a mile and ending back up on the original shaft plane with the hips being extremely deep, something from Hogan as well. Getting your pivot correct, looking at the averages of movement with the modern day swing and even with the old style swings here, this is a fascinating area. The deep to shallow swing style. The deep to shallow swing style on WorldClassGolf.com with the deep shoulders, the low left arm, the drills and the exercises to get yourself into these positions where we're looking at the wrist alignment slightly closing the face. We're actually using a mixture of styles, and that's making it a lot easier for people to hit the ball a lot better. An amazing swing from Ben Hogan when you see the swing continuing to lower down and lower further down, and then get into a position where he's actually underneath the original shaft plane. Just an insane swing. Look at that golf ball take off. The footwork from Nicklaus, absolutely extraordinary. And recently saw a clip of Nicklaus, talking about the footwork and what he worked on, getting the pivot correct in both directions, working, which, a lot of club golfers could really work on, because we're lacking here a lot of the time with the lateral shift through the golf ball.
World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied in helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction.
Personally, I'm finding that the more compact swing for the masses of the people out there at the top is a better place to be. We're not getting up too high when we're looking at these golf swings. Guys, if you can keep this elbow pretty close to the original shaft plane, you're going to be in a really good place. Have a look at World Class Golf. Check out that deep to shallow swing style. It's growing. It's helping many more people. Guys, if you like the video, help me out and like the video. I think it's really, really interesting looking at the different styles of swings. And as I said, the senior series coming soon from Dr. Neal and I are really looking forward to presenting that to the senior golfers there who are joining WorldClassGolf.com. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.